Some of you are thinking, I don't expect that God cares very much about me, or I don't expect that God can save someone like me, or I don't expect that God would want someone like me in his family. I don't expect that Jesus can wash my sins away. You don't know what I've done, where I've been, how I've done it, or who I've done it with. I don't think God can cure my sickness or my disease. I don't expect God will ever forgive me. Some of you might even be thinking, I don't expect I'm welcome at this church. Jesus said from the cross, he said, it is finished. He died for your sins and for mine. There was a lot of things that weren't expected on that day and that time. I promise you, Pilate did not expect Jesus to be silent, but to stand there in silence as he faced the charges they had brought against him. Who stands in silence when they're falsely accused? Totally unexpected. The executioner didn't expect Jesus to lay down and not fight and scream and cry and moan like everybody else he had ever tacked to the wood did. That thief who hung next to him didn't expect to be in paradise. That soldier who had cast lots for his clothing didn't expect to confess him as Lord when the earth went dark and the ground began to shake beneath his feet. And he said, surely this was the Son. The disciples didn't expect Jesus to die on the cross. They thought he was going to be a conquering king. They were expecting the armies of heaven to dive down out of the sky and save everything and make everything right. But he did breathe his last on that day. Totally unexpected. The chief priests and the Pharisees did not expect that the curtain in the temple would be split. Joseph didn't expect that Jesus would be laid in a tomb he had cut for himself. And I can promise you, nobody expected him to come walking out of the grave 3 days later. With God, you better expect the unexpected. The reality is this: he does love you. He is for you. He did die for you. He does care about you. He will forgive you. He does accept you just as you are. Whether you expect it or not has nothing to do with it. In fact, if you don't expect it, it probably means it's the way God planned it. Because with God, you better expect the unexpected.